If a normal show seems like a strange choice on a day like today, I get that. If you're not up for a normal show, I get that too. I wasn't up for a normal show a good bit of Wednesday. You can hear what got me back to that on yesterday's macosken Live, a decidedly abnormal show, and on in a few minutes when I had a chance to sound out some stuff with a friend of mine. If you're not up for a normal show today, no worries. It'll be here. And if you are up for a normal show, well,
this is macosken.
A new one-day record for the App Store, news of international promotions, and a couple of stories around Apple frenemies. It is Thursday, the 7th of January, 2021. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from macosken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Sunbasket. Get $35 off your order using promo code macosken at sunbasket.com/macosken. This show is also sponsored by Audible and their great new plan, AudiblePlus. Given the events of the last 24 hours, you might be feeling contemplative. Here are a few titles that I found looking through the catalog. Animal Farm by George Orwell. The text of the U.S. Constitution narrated by Walter Cronkite. And Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Now what's cool is you don't have to choose one of those titles. AudiblePlus gives you access to thousands and thousands of select Audible originals, audiobooks, and podcasts, including ad-free versions of popular shows, as well as exclusive series. And of course, if you're looking for straight-up escapism, there's plenty of that too. Lots of great stuff to hear, and you can start listening for free. Visit audible.com/macosken or text macosken to 500 to start your free 30-day trial. Whether you're looking to strengthen skills, be more informed, or just be entertained, Audible Plus has tons of titles for you. Visit audible.com/macosken or text macosken to 500 to start your free 30-day trial. And a huge thanks to Audible for sponsoring today's show. New Year's Day was a big day for the App Store, the biggest day yet, according to Apple. Engadget had the Cupertino company saying Wednesday that App Store spending broke a single-day record on the 1st of January, with people dropping over $500 million. According to the firm, New Year's Day's App Store revenue came in at $540 million. That was on top of the $1.8 billion spent in the App Store from the 24th through the 31st of December. Happy holidays indeed. Surprising no one, the piece has Apple saying that most of the holiday week spending was on games. News of the record-setting sales was folded into a press release touting Apple's acumen as a services company. Cult of Mac highlights some of Apple's other highlights. Among them, engagement with Apple Music's lyrics feature doubled in 2020. Apple TV Plus is now available on over 1 billion screens in over 100 countries and regions. Apple Pay is now available in more than 90% of stores in the US, 85% of stores in the UK, and 99% in Australia. And finally, Apple Books saw a remarkable growth in new customers over 2020. It currently has more than 90 million monthly active users. It's time to head back to school in Australia and Brazil and New Zealand and South Korea for some reason. That means time for Apple's annual Back to University promotion. Mac Rumors says the promo offers kids and teachers who teach them free AirPods with the purchase of an eligible Mac or iPad. Those are standard AirPods, though buyers can upgrade to a pair with a wireless charging case or even AirPods Pro for a fee. That's after the purchase of a qualifying MacBook Air or MacBook Pro, including the new M1 models, as well as iMac, iMac Pro, and iPad Air or iPad Pro. Those are the eligible machines. As for the eligible people, the piece says discounts are available to current and newly accepted university students, parents buying for students, and teachers and staff at all levels. Sign-up and enrollment verification through Uni Days is required. Lunar New Year is on the horizon, and Apple's got something special for China. Mac Rumor says 2021 is the year of the ox. To celebrate that, the piece says Apple has launched a pair of special edition AirPods Pro featuring an ox icon. Mac Rumor says the stoppers are identical to standard AirPods Pro, but feature an ox engraved on the charging case. They also ship in a box that has the same ox icon on it. Special and scarce these are. The piece has Apple saying the ox-themed AirPods Pro are in short supply, with a total of 25,400 available. 11,480 of those will be sold in retail stores, while 13,920 are available for purchase online. The company has also put a Chinese New Year gift guide up on its site. Just like here in the States, Apple in China thinks lots of Apple stuff makes the perfect holiday gift. Go figure. Apple is acknowledging a worry that reared its head in a big way in 2020. In a regulatory filing earlier this week, iMore says Apple expanded its focus on antitrust issues. The company added a new section about antitrust risk to its annual Proxy statement, according to the report. iMore says the emphasis comes as Apple, along with most of the big tech companies, has been under increasing pressure from governments across the world concerning antitrust. Apple specifically is being scrutinized because of its control of the App Store. Most notably, Tim Cook testified to Congress during its antitrust investigation into companies like Apple, Facebook, Google, and Amazon. Hey, as long as we're in Washington, did you catch Tim Cook's Twitter post on Wednesday? After the President of the United States stirred up supporters to march on the Capitol, and after those supporters breached the Capitol, breaking windows, accessing offices, damaging and stealing things, and trying to stop the working of one of the three branches of government, after 4 people died on the Capitol grounds, 3 from medical incidents and 1 at the hands of law enforcement. After all that, Tim Cook tweeted, "Today marks a sad and shameful chapter in our nation's history. Those responsible for this insurrection should be held to account, and we must complete the transition to President-elect Biden's administration. It's especially when they are challenged that our ideals matter most." I love that sentiment, and yet I can't help getting stuck on the part about those responsible for this insurrection being held to account. Maybe he was subtweeting. More news in a moment, but first a word from Sunbasket, delivering oven-ready meals that are fast, fresh, and delicious. Boy, 2021 is really feeling like 2020, isn't it? Why not try something different with Sunbasket? Actually, try lots of different things with their fresh and ready meals. Every Sunbasket meal is filled with only premium quality real food, including organic fresh produce, antibiotic and hormone-free meats, and sustainably sourced seafood from suppliers they know and trust. And trust me when I tell you it tastes great. You can try a meal kit, like the Mojo tacos with salsa verde that I had recently, or the fresh and ready butter chicken with basmati rice pilaf that I also had recently. Lots to love about the fresh and ready meals, like the fact that all you have to do is heat and eat. And then there's the price, just $8.99, so they're good for your body and your budget. And you can try them for less. Right now, Sunbasket is offering $35 off your order when you go right now to sunbasket.com/macosken and enter promo code macosken at checkout. That's sunbasket.com/macosken and enter promo code macosken at checkout for $35 off your order. sunbasket.com/macosken and enter promo code macosken. And a big thanks to Sunbasket for sponsoring today's show. The firm MKM Partners has sized up which companies will be hardest hit by Apple's upcoming anti-tracking tech, and you will never guess which is at the top of the list. The tech we're talking about is App Tracking Transparency, or ATT. That's the feature that will let people opt out of having apps track their activity across other apps. According to a piece from CNBC, MKM Partners analysts said Tuesday some online ad companies such as Facebook and Snap will be more exposed to the impacts on mobile advertising than their peers. Well, now hold on a second. Facebook? Facebook said ATT wouldn't affect them. They were just concerned about small businesses that advertise with them. Starting to think you can't trust those guys. Quoting the report, MKM analysts said they created a framework based on 7 factors to determine the change's risk to online ad companies. The factors include scale, access to first-party data, exposure to iOS devices, relative revenue contribution from app install ads, off-platform ads, ads purchased by small businesses, and ads purchased by industries relying heavily on paid mobile user acquisitions. Broadly, those companies include those in gaming, dating, ride-hailing, and streaming video. The analyst said based on these parameters, Facebook and Snap have the highest potential headwind due to the changes, followed by Twitter and Pinterest. They said Google and Amazon have the lowest relative exposure. Facebook. I am shocked. The social network is finally facing the fact that ATT is a thing with which it's gonna have to live. According to a piece from Apple Insider, while Facebook says it disagrees with the privacy feature, it told business users that it has no choice but to adopt the prompt. It added that if it doesn't comply, it could risk removal from the App Store. And finally today, a story that was kind of a big deal earlier this week. If anything outside of DC or the pandemic can be called a big deal. A few people noticed that Google had not put the new privacy nutrition labels on its apps in the App Store. Those were supposed to go up on any apps added or updated from December 8th, 2020 onward. Mac Rumors noted the conclusion to which many had jumped. Even Facebook put up these so-called nutrition labels. How bad must Google's invasiveness be if it wouldn't? Well, TechCrunch ran a piece that I think was supposed to allay concerns, though to me at least, it raised kind of a big question. First, the part that was supposed to be comforting. Contrary to reports, Google is not delaying updates to its iOS apps because it doesn't want to comply with Apple's recently announced App Store privacy labels policy. In fact, the piece says Google actually did update 2 of its apps after the deadline, but those updates didn't include the privacy labels. See, if you were listening closely, you may have heard the part that raised the question. Apple has said that nobody would be able to update their apps without including the privacy labels. And yet, the piece says Google Slides, the slideshow presentation app and one of Google's more significant apps in the productivity space, was updated on the 14th of December 2020. And Socratic by Google, a homework helper and the number 7 free app in the education category, was updated on the 15th of December. TechCrunch thinks it's possible, maybe even likely, that the updates were submitted before the deadline and just got delayed in the pre-holiday crush. Reached for comment, the piece says a Google spokesperson confirmed that the company has a plan to add privacy labels across its app catalog. They also confirmed that labels are expected to begin rolling out as soon as this week or next week, though an exact date is not yet available. Because I guess Google just gets to decide. Coming up in a few minutes, the After Show's Mike Rose joins us to talk about the second most important Apple story of 2020. Actually, he brought a couple of them. 15 minutes that are not about the state of the world. Mostly. Have a listen. In a few minutes. Look for that show wherever you get podcasts. macOS Ken Live goes live again today, 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/KenRay. Catch it live or on replay there. You can also grab the audio podcast, macOS Ken Live, wherever you get podcasts. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by AudiblePlus. Visit audible.com/macOSKen or text macOS Ken to 500-500 to start your free 30-day trial. This show is also sponsored by Sunbasket. Get $35 off your order using promo code macOSKen at sunbasket.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. info@macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.